Our lesson this Saturday is titled, On Being Consistent in Your Faith. If one is going to live by the word of Jesus Christ, you must live it consistently. As we have discussed, you must use your faith to help others. This is how Jesus wants his word to spread. But you must be consistent in your actions, between your words and your values. You can't be Christian in your values on one issue, and then violate those same values in the next breath, in your next actions. That shows your supposed faith to be false, to be merely put on for a show like sheep's clothing put on by a wolf, and then that ravenous wolf takes off that clothing and shows its true colours in the next moment. Such is the case in recent laws against abortion in the United States, when these same alleged faithful leaders advocate all persons arm themselves with guns to shoot down anyone who dares to enter this country illegally, and to kill all who think they can try to bring a gun into our schools or our churches. This is not what any Christian would do. This is what a demon in a poorly fit sheep's cloak would do. Christ would not allow the carrying of any firearms by any person for any reason, except for a single firing rifle or a single firing shotgun for the purposes of hunting for your own family to eat. I have spoken of this so many times. Handguns are not allowed for any reason. These are the only product ever created for the single purpose of killing another human being. Every politician advocating both support for firearms and abortion control is merely advocating slavery and control of women and property rights of women, just as the thoughts were over 50 years ago when rape of a spouse was legal, as was beating your spouse so long as the stick was not as thick as your thumb. That's where the phrase rule of thumb comes from. I'll bet you stop using that phrase now. These people are no more Christian than is Satan, for they are evil and debased at their foundation. None is clean. Not one follows the teaching of Matthew 25, 35, 46. Not any one of them. But I know every single one of my followers do. If any of you do own weapons, it is only the single firing hunting gun, nothing more. And you assist the lesser folk to get food, drink, clothing, housing, and health care. For that is the same for Jesus Christ. You use your faith. You have the arguments herein. You do not use slavery of women. You do not use the control of women as your property rights. You do not ever, ever look down on gay, lesbian, transgender, homosexual, or questioning as lesser than you. you accept them. For to do any less, you are not of Christ. For if you love your neighbour as Christ commands, you do nothing to one of your sisters or brothers that will hurt them. This includes requiring your sister to carry the fetus of a rapist. Do you know that requires such enormous evil that causes suicide in 79% of all cases? That causes an attempt of suicide in every single case. And yet, you men, you think you know all, but you are not the controllers of a woman's body. Ever. Never think you can control the rights or needs or actions of another. And to stand outside any medical clinic that offers the majority of their services to poor women who need pap smears to prevent cancer of the uterus, cancer of their women parts, rather than naming them all to you, means that you are acting as Satan's rapists rather than Christian men. So choose. Which do you want to be? Do you want to save the life of young women from cancer? Or do you want to continue to control the women as property right?